Nuclear power stations generate waste, just like any other power station. Coal generates ash, carbon dioxide and other gases. Gas power plants produce different gas products depending on their impurities, and nuclear power plants produce spent fuel rods. But crucially, they do not produce any other waste. Once the uranium concentrations inside nuclear fuel rods fall below a certain level, they can no longer be split, and so no longer make energy. Once this happens, the spent fuel rods need to be taken for reprocessing. Any leftover uranium-235 can be recycled to be added to new fuel rods, but any material that isn't uranium must be disposed of. Unfortunately, this material is still highly radioactive and needs to be stored somewhere safe for many years. Once the fuel rods leave the nuclear reactor, they are extremely hot and need to be stored somewhere to be cooled. This is usually done under a cooling water bath to absorb the continuing neutron radiation from the sources. After that, it is sent to a reprocessing plant which can separate useful fuel from waste material. The waste material then needs to be stored somewhere whilst it becomes less highly radioactive. The storage facility needs to be secure and shielded to stop radiation from leaking into the environment, so it's typically stored deep underground. Once the radioactive material is stored for a few decades, it can be moved to a different, more permanent waste facility. The problem, again, is radioactivity. The material needs to be stored for a long period of time in a safe and secure location, away from any possible leaks or places where it could contaminate the environment, and there are very few places in the world that would welcome this kind of expensive and hazardous waste. As well as the spent nuclear fuel, there is also the radioactive gases produced in the fission process. These radioactive gases need to be stored until they are less radioactive and released. There is also the matter of the coolant containing radioactive material, which must be allowed to settle so that the radioactive material can be separated from non-radioactive material.